Today, we're going to take a look at cybersecurity job postings, particularly the Information Systems Security Officer, also known as the ISSO. So here we're on Indeed.com, and here I already have some job feeds. So there's one for a Senior Security Control Assessor, and it pays $145,700 a year, and they say they're urgently hiring. Okay. There's another one, Senior Security Control. Oh, actually, no, that's the same job, and this is where you would apply. And let's go. Let's look for ISSO. And this job here is an Information Systems Security Officer, pays $62 an hour. This is another one that pays $100K a year. This is another one, 108 to 137 a year. Let's go ahead and take a look. Mantech. Job description. Ensure the day-to-day implementation, oversight, continuous monitoring, and maintenance of security configuration, practices, and procedures for each IS information system. So continuous monitoring is when you basically watch out for changes to the system or the system environment to make sure that those changes do not introduce any type of risk. Okay, so you're looking at change request tickets, doing security impact analysis, and things of that nature. Provide liaison support between system owner and other information system security personnel. So the system owner is usually a manager or person who is in charge of the system. That's the person that's responsible for that particular system, that does all the approvals for that particular system. So you're going to be a liaison, so you're going to be a go-between the Chief Information Security Officer and the system owner and the system owner's people, and provide security guidance and walk them through the process of getting an authority to operate, known as an ATO. Ensure that selected security controls are implemented and operating as intended during all phases of the IS lifecycle. So here they're talking about security controls. Security controls are things you put in place to reduce risk. So firewalls, policies, intrusion detection systems, those would be security controls. So you're not actually installing or implementing these security controls, but you are telling the system owner and the system owner's team the types of security controls to implement on that system based on that system's level. So it could be a low system, a moderate system, or a high system. And there are different security controls that apply to each baseline level. So next one is saying ensure that the system security documentation is developed, maintained, reviewed, updated on a continuous basis. So most of these systems, or all of these systems, have to go through what is called the risk management framework. It's a framework that has 7 phases and these phases will help the system get secure to a certain standard. Okay, so there are some documents associated with this process, so such as the FIPS 29 document, the BIA, disaster recovery, contingency plan, the SSP, the SAR, the POAMs. So you, as the cybersecurity professional or the ISSO, you're going to make sure that you have these documents maintained, reviewed, making sure that the information in there is accurate, making sure that those documents get signed, and so on and so forth. Conduct required IS vulnerability scans according to risk assessment parameters. So, a security risk or a vulnerability scan is a tool that you use to scan for um, gaps or weaknesses in the system vulnerabilities. So, think of your antivirus software that you use at home. It looks like that, but it has more bells and whistles. Okay, so this will scan and give you a report of things that should be fixed. Now, again, you're not the person who's going to fix these things. However, you are the one who's going to submit that report to the administrators and the developers, and they will go ahead and fix those issues. And here it says develop plans of action and milestones. This is the plans of actions and milestones. This is the called the POEMs. Sometimes it's written as POA ampersand MS. This is basically a way to track those findings that we talked about, right? Uh, any finding that comes at the end of an assessment is considered a POEM, or any finding that's done after continuous monitoring, ISCM, will be a POEM. And this is basically a way to track the remediation of these findings, to say, hey, who's responsible for that? How much is it going to cost? What's the start time? What's the completed end date? Or, you know, just have a way to track these things so they don't get swept under the rug. Okay, so it looks like this for this particular job, the client is the FBI. So they're just in coordination with the um, FBI assets, but it's basically managing POAMs. And part of managing POAMs, you want to make sure that as they are approaching the due date of the POAM, because the POAMs sometimes they give you due dates like, okay, this POAM needs to be closed in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or whatever. So you're going to make sure that as the due date is approaching, you notify these people responsible for closing these POAMs, and letting them know, hey, you're fast approaching the due date. Go ahead and resolve these, and then you're continuously reporting up on the status of these POAMs. Coordinate system owner concurrence for correction of mitigate. Yeah, so basically making sure the system owner is aware and making sure that they agree to the POAMs that were discovered, or the POAMs that were documented. Monitoring security controls. So monitoring security controls will be part of the ISCM, Information Security Continuous Monitoring. So this would be in forms of change requests. This will be in forms of audit logs using tools like Splunk. This will be in the form of making sure that the baseline has not changed. So if there's any deviation from that baseline, there the appropriate documentation needs to be filled out. Waivers, um, ABC forms, or deviation forms, and things of that nature. Upload all security control evidence to governance risk compliance application to support security control implementation during the monitoring phase. So this thing called the GRC tool stands for governance, risk, and compliance. So we've got different GRC tools, Exacta, Risk Archer, CSAM, so EMAS. So these are tools that are used to kind of streamline the authorization process. You upload documentation to it. You could use the tools to generate the SSP, to update the SSP, and things of that nature. Ensure that changes to an FBI information system, its environment, and or operation needs that may affect the authorization. So this is what we talked about um, with making sure that changes to the environment are monitored. So anytime a change is going to take place, the team needs to submit what is called a CR, a change request, and you as a security professional at the ISSO would review that change request to make sure that a security impact analysis is conducted and that the change does not invalidate the ATO, the change does not make the system less secure. Okay? And here it's talking about decommission. So when a system is not being used anymore, then you decommission it. You basically shut it down and remove it off the network. Everything that has a beginning has an end. So that's part of the SDLC, system development or software development lifecycle, if you will. And here is just a list of some of the qualifications. So it's asking for CISSP, it's asking for the CASP. So yeah, this is a typical job description of an ISSO, and I do have training for this position, the ISSO position. So it's on-the-job training that covers all these roles, all these responsibilities, and more. Shows you step by step how to perform these in different templates. We also have resume templates and resources on how you can ace your interview. So if you're looking to get into the cybersecurity field, this is a good position to apply for because it's not technical at all. It's more about following the processes and procedures to help a system owner get an ATO for his or her system. Okay, so I hope this was informative. Thank you.
Hey, if you're interested in any of my cybersecurity videos, here is one I would recommend for you. It's the Information System Security Officer Training. This course comes with tons of videos, a CAP, which is the Certified Authorization Professional Bootcamp, comes with quizzes, comes with a certificate of completion, resume template, ebook, monthly live Q&A sessions, the ability to ask questions as well and get a response back in 48 hours. Also has interview prep and job prep. So this is a power-packed course. For more information, visit www.cyberfirstacademy.com. Thanks. Don't forget to subscribe and like. We're also on IG at CyberFirst Solutions. Thank you.